along the wind-swept coast of Ireland, where the Atlantic's fury carves the land, lie the Aran Islands. Here, on the largest of them, in Ismore, history is etched into every stone, and ancient tales are carried on the salt-laced wind. Among these stories, none is more haunting than the legend of the Selkie, the seal folk who shed their skins on land to walk as humans. It's a tale of love, loss, and the eternal call of the sea. Our story begins with a young fisherman named Conall. He was a man of the island, his build hardened by a life of hauling nets and battling the relentless waves. His dark hair was often wild, tossed by the same gales that shaped the cliffs, and his steady gaze held the deep, mysterious color of the ocean on a calm day. Conall knew the sea's every mood, its generosity and its cruelty. He lived in a small stone cottage, its walls thick against the storms, his days governed by the rise and fall of the tide. One evening, as twilight painted the sky in shades of lavender and rose, Conall was walking along a secluded, rocky cove. The air was still, the waves lapping gently against the shore. It was then that he saw something that stopped him in his tracks. There, on a flat-topped rock, lay a shimmering, silvery sealskin. It seemed to glow with an otherworldly light, soft and beautiful. Curiosity pulling him forward, he moved closer. He had heard the old stories, the whispers of Selkies, but had always dismissed them as fireside fancies. As he reached for the skin, a sound drifted to his ears, the sound of laughter, clear and sweet as a silver bell. He looked up and saw, further down the beach, a group of figures dancing by the water's edge. They moved with a grace he had never seen before, their forms silhouetted against the dying light. Among them, one woman in particular captured his attention. Her long, dark hair flowed around her like a silken cloak, and her movements were as fluid as the water itself. An overwhelming sense of enchantment washed over him. He was utterly captivated. Driven by a sudden, powerful impulse he couldn't explain, Conall took the sealskin. He knew the legends. He knew that without her skin, a Selkie could not return to the sea. It was a selfish, desperate act, born of a sudden, deep loneliness and a desire to keep this ethereal beauty in his world. He carefully hid the skin in a wooden chest back at his cottage, locking it tight and placing the key deep in his pocket. When he returned to the cove, the other figures were gone. Only the one woman remained, her laughter replaced by frantic searching. She moved with growing panic, her eyes scanning the rocks. Conall approached her cautiously, ses lochhed up her eyes wide with fear and despair. She told him her name was Mara, and that she had lost something precious, something she could not live without. Conall, his heart aching with a mixture of guilt and adoration, offered her his cloak to cover her and his home for shelter. With no other choice, she accepted. And so, Mara the Selkie began her life on land. The first years were filled with a profound, silent sadness. She would spend hours staring out at the ocean, her gaze lost in the endless expanse of gray and blue. She missed her family, her home beneath the waves, the freedom of her true form. The sounds and smells of the human world were harsh and strange to her. Conall watched her, his guilt a constant companion, but his love for her only deepened. He was kind and patient, trying to ease her sorrow with small gifts from the land wildflowers from the cliffs, warm bread from his hearth. Slowly, over time, a new life began to take shape. Mara's sorrow didn't disappear, but it softened. She found a quiet beauty in the rugged landscape of Inismore. She learned the rhythm of the seasons, the language of the shorebirds, and the warmth of the community. Her relationship with Conall blossomed into a gentle, tender love. They married, and their cottage, once a place of solitude for Conall, filled with warmth and quiet joy. They had 2 children, a boy named Finn and a girl named Sor. Both children had their father's steady nature, but their mother's deep, soulful eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the sea. Mara was a wonderful mother. She taught her children the songs of the seals and the stories of the ocean. They would spend hours on the beach, collecting shells and watching the seals that often gathered on the rocks offshore. Mara would speak to them in a soft, low voice, and the seals would seem to listen, their dark eyes fixed on her. Conall watched his family with a heart full of love, but the secret of the sealskin was a heavy weight he carried every day. He sometimes saw the longing in Mara's eyes when she looked at the water and knew that a part of her would always belong to the sea. Years passed. The children grew, their laughter echoing among the stone walls of the island. One blustery afternoon, while Kunal was out with the fishing fleet, the children were playing hide-and-seek in the cottage. Finn, searching for his sister, stumbled upon the old wooden chest that his father always kept locked. He noticed a glint of metal peeking out from beneath a loose floorboard. It was the old, forgotten key. Overcome with curiosity, he unlocked the chest. Inside, nestled amongst old linens, was the sealskin. It shimmered as if it were alive, soft and sleek to the touch. The children had never seen anything like it. They ran to their mother, holding it out for her to see. The moment Mara's eyes fell upon the skin, a lifetime of memories flooded back. The feel of the cold, clear water, the voices of her family, the freedom of the swim. Her entire being was struck by a powerful, undeniable pull. The call of her home, her true nature, was too strong to resist. With tears streaming down her face, she hugged her children tighter than ever before. She kissed them goodbye, her love for them a sharp pain in her heart. She explained that she had to leave, that she was returning to her home, but that she would always watch over them from the waves. She took her skin and walked down to the same cove where she had first met their father. When Conal returned, the cottage was silent. He found his children, their faces streaked with tears, and they told him what had happened. A wave of devastation washed over him. His secret was out, and his deepest fear had come true. He ran to the shore, calling her name into the wind, but the only answer was the roar of the surf. He scanned the horizon and, for a moment, he saw her, a sleek, dark seal, turning to look back at the shore one last time, its eyes full of a sorrow as deep as the ocean itself. Then she slipped beneath the waves and was gone. Conal never remarried. He raised his children with a heavy heart, his gaze forever fixed on the sea, hoping for a glimpse of his lost love. The children, Finn and Saroha, grew up with a unique connection to the ocean. It was said they could calm storms with their singing and that the seals were their special protectors. They were the children of the land and the sea, a living testament to the love between a fisherman and a seal. And sometimes, on quiet evenings, fishermen on Inismore say you can still see a lone seal lingering near the shore, her dark, sad eyes watching the land. She watches over her children and their children's children, a guardian from the deep, forever caught between two worlds. The tale of the seal vale of Inismore, our lives on, a reminder of the wild magic that dwells just beyond the shoreline, and the powerful, untamable call of the heart. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Irish mythology. If you love stories like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales from the edge of the world. See you next time.